Hello.
How are you doing, sir?
Doing good, doing good.
Great, great. Sir, recently on two separate instances, once with comedian Kunal Kamra and once with cartoonist Rachita Taneja, we've seen that the Honorable Attorney General has provided consent to requests for initiation of contempt proceedings
Yes.
against these people before the Honorable Supreme Court of India. Could you
Yes.
please shed some light on how contempt proceedings typically go by and what exactly is happening in this case and how this is likely to pan out in the weeks or months to come?
Basically, contempt proceedings are initiated by the court suo motu or at the instance of some party, some aggrieved party, because there are certain facts which give rise to the possibility to initiate such proceedings. And when you think about contempt proceedings, there are two kinds of proceedings, that is civil contempt and criminal contempt. Civil is the more uh, lesser version of the criminal contempt. So criminal contempt would happen when the court's authority is diminished
Mhm.
or shown in poor light, or the administration of justice is obstructed in any way.
Okay.
So you would find that there is a bit of subjectivity in the entire process. That is, the judge feels that his sort of position is somewhat belittled, or in some way the court itself is scandalized, and therefore that kind of behavior must be stopped in order to sort of preserve the confidence of the public in the administration of justice.
Okay.
So therefore, what happens is, I can give you an instance from my practice wherein there was a land dispute, and one litigant, what he felt was whatever had sort of pleaded, certain contents of our plea were contempt, because according to him they were all false, and therefore we cannot sort of we, under oath, we cannot sort of put forth falsehoods.
Correct.
Therefore
Okay.
he tried to initiate contempt, and so the matter came before the Advocate General of the Madras High Court. So where we had to go and argue, saying that we sort of pleaded what we believe to be true, based on documents, based on certain other things. We merely stated what we believe to be true, what our best of our belief. Whereas the other person said, it is my land. You people are making all these statements, false statements before the court to somehow grab my land. And he also said that we made some wrong statements regarding his position. It seemed he was some tribunal member or something like that, and so
Okay.
on and so
Okay.
forth. But the thing is, the AG, first it came before one AG, and it kept going, and finally another AG said that contempt proceedings need not be initiated. There were no compelling reasons for contempt proceedings to be initiated. So now, coming
Okay.
to our point, where one might wonder why for Jagan Mohan Reddy the consent was not given by the Attorney General, whereas for someone like Kunal Kamra the consent seems to have been given.
Correct. Correct.
So I would say that obviously I discussed about what will give rise to, what will be grounds for initiating contempt. But the thing is, now finally the decision boils down to the AG giving his consent to initiate the proceedings, whether it's suo motu or whether it's initiated by someone else, some private individual.
Okay.
So now what happens is, there is this subjectivity that the Attorney General or Advocate General brings to the table. So therefore, one has to, if you see in other countries, Australia, UK, US, and all those places, contempt is almost non-existent, because they feel that we should not prevent somebody from exercising their free speech, or we shouldn't be too sort of fragile, if I may say so, that the judges feel so scandalized and so perturbed by somebody making some statement about whatever they're doing. But nonetheless, one has to balance it against the public's confidence, because
Correct.
the courts are the final resort. When we look at the litigations in our country, we see that they're political. The big business disputes. Arbitration appeals come to the court, commercial matters. So therefore, the court is this final authority that finally puts an end to disputes. Now, if somebody is going to be haphazard in commenting about how the administration of justice takes place, or that they try to color the judge in a particular way, it creates that doubt in the public. And so if the public loses its confidence in the courts and the judges, what do we do next? What is the alternative? So therefore, that is the balance. And to talk about it specifically, honestly, Rishwan, I feel that there is a bit of subjectivity with regard to AG giving that consent. I'm just telling you what I felt. I truly
Right.
felt that in certain instances you might feel that okay, there are grounds to initiate contempt proceedings, but still the AG feels okay, okay, let's not give the consent, and because the reasons are not strong enough. In some instances we feel that okay, if consent was denied in this instance, the same rules can be applied in another instance, and consent could have been denied in that instance also.
Right.
So again, it does have I mean, the attorney general's sort of leanings, so to speak, and sort of understanding of the law, and sort of his view on what is to be done in that particular instance, in the facts and circumstances of that case, has a bearing.
Understood, sir.
So these are some of the things. And also, when you see in Bombay High Court, Arnab was not granted bail, but the Supreme Court grants bail, and Justice Deepak, what's his name?
D.Y. Chandrachud, if I'm not wrong, sir.
D.Y. Chandrachud now
Yes.
takes an entirely different view, and really explain the law and things like that, clarified things in a way that he did. So sometimes it can go both ways with the bench, as well as with the judges, as well as with the AG, as to whether something has to be done.
Right. No, any which ways, I think, sir, Honorable Justice Chandrachud seems to be fairly famous amongst the masses with
Yeah.
regards to the judgment that he passes.
Yes. And there can be some disagreements. It often happens, as we encounter in so many cases. It can go both ways, but a particular judge takes a particular view. And similarly, the AG also has that bit of subjectivity and that power to say so, to influence it in this way. And one more thing is the fact that there is also this bit of remorse that a person can show, the contemner can show, which could
Right.
impact the whole thing. Sometimes in contempt proceedings, you find that once the contempt proceedings are initiated, then this person comes and says, "I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do it." Then the proceedings are closed.
Okay, so then the courts probably get fairly lenient.
Yeah, so that this person also understands the mind of the court, where the line has been crossed, so to speak.
Right.
And as soon as they do it, the courts then are a bit magnanimous, and not giving them punishment or something like that. But that need not happen always.
Right, of course.
Yeah. So in mild instances, that could happen. The judge might sort of absolve you, so to speak. And
Okay.
yeah.
Understood, sir.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you so very much for this, sir. This has been extremely helpful, and I'm sure all our audiences will definitely benefit from these insights.
Yeah, thank you, Rishwa. Thank you.